Alright, so here we have two Nutanix blocks. We have a set of Dell nodes on cluster A and your standard Nutanix platform on cluster B. What we're going to demo today is taking a Windows VM running on the Dell cluster running on vSphere and replicating it over to an Acropolis Hypervisor cluster just using the native inbuilt data protection features of Nutanix. So we'll log into the two clusters, so the Dell one and the Nutanix one. They're just set up on my home network via a switch. It could be over a layer 3 network across the different sites, but in my case it's just a home lab on a flat network. As you can see here, they're the two hypervisors. One's running ESXi version 6 and the other one's running the Acropolis Hypervisor. So if we have a look in the VM tab, I'll just show you the VM that we've pre-prepared. So the pre-preparing is simply putting the VM, what's called the VM Mobility drivers inside that VM. You can just install it. That will soon be renamed in 4.6 and beyond to Nutanix Guest Tools. But for this 4.5 release, it's still the VM Mobility driver. And we set up a async DR policy and a remote site, which we test. You can see the test works to the other cluster. And I set up a policy which I added that Windows 7B VM. So I'm just going to now basically create a one-time snap and kick that off. And as you see, we go home, everything looks okay. As you see on the Acropolis cluster, you'll see that there's 4 virtual machines that are running there. If we go to there and just have a look, you'll see that there's just the controller VMs that are running one per node. So if we have a look at the data protection tab now, because we kicked off that snap from the first site, there's the test. If we have a look at our local snapshots, we can see that we've got a snapshot that we just done just now. So we're going to restore that locally to this local cluster on cluster B. So we pick in the policy, we pick the virtual machine that we've protected, choose the path. I'll just choose the default / and then give it a name from ESXi. And for the prefix, and then away we go. So you'll recall that we had 4 VMs running before, or configured on this cluster. Now we have 5, so now I can go to the VM tab, the VM page, look at the table. As you see that it's off, but the cool thing about Acropolis is you can manage all your virtual machine features and states from the tab itself. So there we have it, job done. So the Windows VM will start up and away you go. So that's running on this site B, replicated from site A. A couple of things. The Windows VM, as I said, you need the VM Mobility drivers, but once that's done, that's okay. You'll have to, if you want to, you have to change connect it to a network, which I haven't shown you here. Obviously, to avoid computer naming issues or IP address clashing, you'd have to make sure that this is changed before you connect it to prod. And yeah, that's about it. So at the moment, only 64-bit operating systems are supported at this time. But things are going to get a lot more interesting 4.6 and beyond with this sort of feature. So it's pretty powerful stuff. Hope that was helpful. Thanks for watching.